Hey, do you have an old mirror around your house that has this going on around the edges where it's just sort of turning dark and yucky, but it's a really good mirror other than that? Well, I'm going to show you today a great idea that you can upcycle jewelry and also plastic and also turn your mirror into a glamorous new looking mirror. So let's begin. I picked up a piece of poster board, and as you can see, it's almost the right width for this mirror. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take and cut the excess off and make it right in line with the mirror. So now that I've cut this, the width of the mirror, I'm going to go about halfway down this board because I only need about down to here, because I'm just going to cover the top of this mirror as a frame. Okay, so now I'm starting to put an edge around this board up here, and as you can see in the corner there, and I'm going to show you how I'm creating that. To create this corner that I'm creating here, what I did was I took this takeout container. This is a great use for some of these takeout containers. Another good use for them is just to clean them up, and if you have company over, to send food home with them whenever you're done. That way they have something to take it home. Anyway, but you want to cut this in half. Then take this side. You can see the difference. These have lines, this doesn't. Take the side that doesn't have the lines and just trim all around the edges here. What we want to do is take this now and cut this from corner to corner, that on a diagonal. Okay, so now I'm going to glue this. Just put a bunch of glue on here. I'm going to paint it on since my glue thing got stuck, so I just cut through the side. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put a bunch of glue on here, and then just like the other sides are fixed over here, just stick it on top of here, and then I'm going to put a book on for weight and just let it dry. So now that I have one on each corner, I'm going to work on filling this in right here, and to do that I'm going to take the other side of what I cut there and again cut straight down the middle on the corner here. So you should have a piece like this after you cut it, and just keep working your way until you reach the other side. Okay, so I filled in the middle pieces here, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe the plastic down with alcohol so that the paint will adhere better to it, and I'm going to paint that whole outside of it silver. And I'm going to be trying this Art Minds metallic non-toxic paint to see how this adheres. It says it's good for plastic, so we'll see how it goes. While this dries, I'm going to go ahead and go on a treasure hunt and see what jewelry I have around the house that needs used up. These odds and ends that I have, these are a beautiful pair of earrings a friend made me. Unfortunately, I broke them. So I don't want to waste them. They're so pretty. I want to put them in something, so I'm going to try to include them in this project. And I just have some trim and stuff left from other projects. Okay, so I gathered all my treasures together between my jewelry I found and some of the craft supplies I had left. And we're going to see what I can create with this. So I've traced the shape of this how I want it to be. It's a little crazy looking, but I'm going to roll with it and see what happens. So now I've trimmed where I've cut. I have some of this left over from other projects. This is some self-adhesive mirror paper that I'm going to put on here. To do that, I'm going to put it underneath first and trace around the edges with this Sharpie, and then cut it out so that I can put it on top of here. Okay, so I've applied the mirror paper as an underlay. And as you saw, I overlapped all these, so you're going to see some overlap, but I'm going to cover that later anyway. But what I'm doing right now is I'm taking this glue, and it's called Crafter's Pick. I've never used it before, but it's working pretty good. I've let some of this dry, and it seems to be holding these jewels on pretty well. So anyway, what I'm using for the jewels is this crushed glass I got from Michael's, and you can also get it from Amazon. I'll put the link below in the description box for that if you're interested in it. But what I'm doing is I'm taking this glue and I'm just squeezing it in between where the marks are on this to fill in these gaps. Taking this, I put in a smaller container like this so that it's easier to work with, but it actually comes in a container like this. And there's different colors. There's green, there's purple, there's clear glass, and it's all so pretty. It's like little pieces of mirror flex with glass. And I did some other projects with this in some of the other videos, and one of my favorite is, I'll show you here on the screen. It was a hand soap dispenser I created by upcycling an old plastic pumper, and it made it look like it was glass. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out after this video below. But anyway, you get the idea. I'm going all the way around and just filling in all these. And once this dries, then we're going to frame this out to cover up all this overlap. Okay, so now I'm taking this Dollar Tree stick-on jewels and I'm putting it in the middle of where this crevice is. Just peeling it off and sticking it, and then I'm putting one of these on each side of it, as you can see here on these ones. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this trim right here to the top, all along on top of here. And this is a peel off and stick tape as well, jewel tape. I got this from Amazon as well, and I'll put the link below on this. I'm just working my way around peeling it and sticking it as I go. Now I'm at the point where I'm going to start decorating down here. So to do that, I'm going to peel off the blue film on this side so that I can start adhering some of the jewels to it. And what I did was I found this online, just printed it out. It's a little image of a bird, and I did that because I want to make the jewels on here kind of form a bird out of jewels. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this, put some glue on the back, and then just stick it on here and then start adhering jewels to make it look like a bird. Okay, so I glued that on. I'm going to show you why I wanted to do a bird theme. I'll show you my bathroom. So this is the theme of my bathroom. This is the shower curtain. It's got the pretty birds on it. And my husband, who's very talented, he painted a bird in this picture. And then the rest of my bathroom has like gold overtones. And if you remember, if you follow me, the videos that I made where I created these sparkly soap dispensers and toothbrush holders. If you haven't seen that, that's in the information box below, the description box, the links to those videos and how to create that. Okay, so if you remember at the beginning of my video, I dug for my treasures, my old jewelry that we're about to upcycle. I laid them all out because I'm going to see how I want to position them on this over here. I have the bird glued down. I'm starting to play around with what I want to set on here to make it look like a bird. I have it laid out where I think I'm going to put it. I haven't glued it yet, but I used pieces of necklace, an old barrette, and some old earrings I made before. And this thing was a necklace I tried to make that a friend was trying to teach me how to do the clay, and it didn't really work out, but maybe for this it will. So I was able to piece together a bird on this side, and then over here on this side created another bird, and this one was made out of all earrings, pieces of earrings. And this bottom in particular is interesting, as this is my old wedding earring, so I was glad to be able to put that to use since it was broken. But that's what I like about this kind of project. It's like a nice memory thing too, so when you look up at this, it'll give you good memories of different pieces where they came from. And it's just a good way to upcycle old memories and treasures that you have. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I added some of this dollar store stick-on jewels on top of this bird's center here to try to give it a little bit of contrast. It wasn't all one color. And then I'm adding some pearl stick-on jewels along the edge here. I'm also adding some of this Lacey beautiful looking gold tulle that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just gluing it on down in the crevice here. So for this pearl that I'm putting around the edge, I should mention that I got this from Amazon, and they come in sheets, and I used it on a prior project to make refurbish a purse, and that link is below to that video on how to do that. But right now I'm cutting it into strips from the sheet, and then I'm just adhering it down onto this. But I'll put the link below to both the video for the purse and also the product if you're interested. Trimming out the edge with this stick-on jewels that I got from Amazon, these strip jewels, and just putting along the edge here. Okay, so I'm lining with this, but I ran out of it. So I'm going to take this other hanging jewel fringe that I got from Amazon, and I'm going to adhere that in different areas along here and make it hang down. Okay, so here it is finished. I mean, at least the front of it. I'll show you the back in a minute, what I'm going to do to hang it up. But this is what the details are on the front. And now I'll show you what I did on the back. So I've covered the back with this silver craft duct tape right here. And what I'm going to do is to hang up the mirror, I'm going to upcycle again. I'm going to use these forks that I got through drive-through one day for salad or whatever. And I'm just going to super glue them onto here so that I can slide it over the mirror, because I don't want it to be a permanent fixture on the mirror. I want to be able to remove it when I want to. So this works out perfect because, as you can see under here, there's a gap, and then you can just slide it over the top of your mirror and it'll adhere. But I have to go ahead and super glue this on. I'm going to reinforce it with this duct tape once again. And I'm taking the handle and just snapping it off of these forks so that whenever I glue it on here, it doesn't have that long handle. And to do that, I'm just using these pliers and snapping it off. And you can save the snapped off ends for another project, or you can put them inside an eco block, which again I mentioned there is a video below on how to make eco blocks that you can stuff the eco blocks with all kinds of plastic scrap. Okay, you guys, even though it looks hokey, it actually works. I tested it out. So I super glued the forks, and then I covered them with the duct tape, and it holds pretty good since this isn't very heavy. And all I do is slide it over the mirror, and it hooks onto the back. Okay, so here it is finished. What do you guys think? I mean, for being old takeout containers, I think it's not too bad. I would do a little different in the future if I make another one, but I think it worked out overall. So if you like this project, please hit the like button. If you want to see upcoming videos, hit the subscribe button and the bell, and it'll notify you to those videos. And if you want to see some of my older videos, look below in the description box, and you can find links to those videos. And thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.